Content remixing. It's not just a trendy term, it's your ticket to boosted reach and SEO success. So imagine you create an incredible blog post and then picture that one blog post reaching a much wider audience, not just once, but multiple times. That's the magic of content remixing. It's about making your existing content work smarter, not harder. And remixing is more than just recycling. It's really unleashing your content's potential across various platforms and formats. More visibility means more eyes on your brand, and that is a win when it comes to online marketing. So why settle for just a one-time audience when you can extend your content's lifespan? And our goal, it's crystal clear. We want to take that one piece of amazing content that you already have and stretch it further than you ever thought possible. We're talking about making it resonate for the long haul. Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. I'm your host, Jenny Lyon, and today I am really excited to dig into 9 fantastic ways that you can repurpose your content. And I have a content remix calendar that you can download for free as well. So let's jump into it. So if we really dig into the nitty-gritty, we want to really understand what is content remixing. Not only what is it, but why does it matter and how can it make your life easier? So content remixing is like giving your content a makeover or maybe just a fresh perspective. So you take these existing gems of content that you already have, whether it's a really incredible blog post, a video that you're really proud of, a podcast episode that was really engaging, and you take that one piece of content and you transform it into various formats. And why does this matter? Well, variety is the spice of life. Different people prefer different formats. And by embracing content remixing, you're really casting a wider net. And let's talk a little bit about the perks. There's a lot of great benefits here. So first up is increased visibility. So if you imagine your content appearing not just on your blog, but also as an engaging video on YouTube, eye-catching graphics on social media, and informative snippets on podcasts. More platforms, again, means more eyes and ears on your content. So resource efficiency. When you're creating content from scratch, as we all know, it's super time consuming. And with content remixing, you really are maximizing what you already have. So it's like having a very versatile wardrobe with a lot of different pieces that all work together. And then there's SEO optimization. So search engines absolutely love fresh content. When you remix, you're really breathing new life into your existing material. Google will see your content as current and relevant, and that will give you a boost in your search rankings. So in a nutshell, content remixing, it's not just a buzzword, it's a strategy that amplifies your reach, saves you a ton of time, and plays very nicely with search engines. All right, so let's dig into these 9 fantastic ways that you can repurpose your content. Number 1 is really identifying your evergreen content. That's the content that you have that really stands the test of time. So let's break it down on how you can spot it and share some really great examples as well. So evergreen content is like that timeless classic song that whenever you hear it pop up on Spotify, you're like, crank that up. And it really remains relevant, useful, and valuable regardless of any of the trends. So how do you spot it? How do you know? Well, you want to keep your radar really tuned in to 2 different things, longevity and user intent. So with longevity, evergreen content, it's not just a one-hit wonder. It's something that's going to stay relevant for months, if not years. So think about your how-to guides. any in-depth tutorials that you've done, or any fundamental foundational principles within your niche. And then user intent. So evergreen content addresses ongoing needs. So it's very user-centric. It focuses on what your audience wants. And when you align your content with the user intent, then you're creating pieces that will stay evergreen. Okay, now let's dig into some examples of successful evergreen pieces. So you might want to jot these down because I'm guessing that you have some of these in your content arsenal already. So first up are those how-to guides. So whether it's content like how to start a blog or how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookies, these guides never go out of style. Then you have educational resources. So that could be content that teaches a skill or provides valuable insights. So I have a lot of these on my website. The Ultimate Guide to SEO. It could be understanding the basics of investing. You get the idea. It's really these pieces of educational content. And then we have FAQs and troubleshooting. So this is where you can address common questions and problems within your industry. So it could be something like how to troubleshoot your smartphone or FAQs about sustainable living. These pieces are always going to be relevant because these are things that people are seeking solutions for all the time. So now that you're armed with that knowledge, now we need to infuse that evergreen magic into the remix strategies. So first up, when it comes to content remix strategies, is taking your blog and moving it to video. So we call it the blog to video transformation. So first up, you want to script it right and really craft that blueprint. So you want to begin with a very robust script. So your blog post is going to lay the foundation, but for a video, a very well thought out script is going to be the key. So you want to outline any key points, you want to maintain a real conversational tone, and of course you want to infuse it with your unique personality. Then you can elevate your video's visual appearance with other compelling visuals. So you might want to incorporate images or graphics or even a touch of animation to keep your audience visually engaged. And you want to break down any complex ideas using more visuals. So again, you don't need a Hollywood studio here, right? There are a ton of user-friendly tools out there from Canva to Lumen 5 or InVideo. All of these tools can help you seamlessly turn your blog into a visually stunning video. Next up is you want to leverage your video platforms to extend that reach. So this is where you're going to dive into the world of YouTube. So you'll want to make sure that you have a dedicated channel set up on YouTube. You're going to upload your videos and you're going to optimize the video descriptions with relevant keywords. So remember, YouTube isn't just a video platform. It's the second largest search engine in the world. So it makes it a powerhouse for discoverability. Next up is you want to transcribe for SEO goodness. So while search engines can't watch videos, they can read text. So transcribing your video content provides search engines with valuable information, which is going to significantly enhance your chances of being discovered through organic search. And then you want to promote on social media platforms. So don't limit posting your video onto YouTube. Once you've posted it there, that's great, but you want to share it across the various platforms that you have for your social media already. And each platform is really unique in its audience. And when you diversify your presence, you increase the likelihood of reaching and engaging with your target audience. Number 3 is you want to use infographics and visual storytelling. So blog posts with key points, statistical data from videos, and summarized insights from podcasts. These are all excellent content types that you can remix into infographics. So infographics work really well when you want to condense information into a visually appealing and easily digestible format. So first, when you're thinking about creating any type of infographics, you want to identify the main points of your video or your blog content or your podcast. Consider using icons or illustrations to represent each point. And then, of course, choose a color scheme that's really going to complement your brand and the video content. And then you're going to arrange those elements in a very visually pleasing outlet. Again, these are things that you can definitely hire a virtual assistant. We do this a lot for our clients to help them with. You can also use a lot of online tools. Again, there's all kinds of tools out there that you can use. But once designed, you want to share that infographic everywhere. Put it on your website, pop it on social media, get it on Pinterest. You really want to enhance visibility and engagement. And when you're sharing these infographics across various platforms, there are several ways you can do this. So with your social media platforms, you want to share it, of course, across all of them. And each platform really does have its strengths. So Pinterest is really great for discovery. Twitter is great for quick shares. LinkedIn, that's where your professional audiences hang out. So make sure that you're tailoring your approach to fit each platform. And if you're going to put it in your blog post, make sure that you are embedding it because it's going to serve as a very incredible visual aid. It'll make that content even more engaging and shareable. So make sure to include a shareable link, some way for people to grab it and share it. Next up are newsletters. So you can feature your infographics in your email newsletter because of course you're sending out an email newsletter every time you create this new content, right? And visual content tends to capture audiences much more effectively than plain text most of the time. So you can use it to highlight key points, statistics, or summaries. This works really well in email form. And then you can also use it to build backlinks. So when you leverage your infographics for backlinks, this would be where you will reach out to other websites or blogs within your niche and offer your infographic as a valuable resource to them. And when others link to your infographic, it not only boosts your visibility, but it enhances your website's authority. So I'm sure you probably get a lot of emails where people reach out to you and say, hey, I have this really cool thing that would go in one of your blogs. That's what they're trying to do there is build some backlinks. Number 4 is podcasting, turning video insights into conversations. So instead of a one-way video lecture, turn your video or your blog post into dynamic conversations on your podcast. So you can extract key points and then frame them as engaging topics. You can invite guests to share diverse perspectives. You can really encourage a dialogue that's going to resonate with your audience. So when doing this, there's a few things that you should keep in mind. You want to structure each episode appropriately. So make sure that your podcast episodes have a really clear structure, whether that's going to be interview style, storytelling, a solo exploration, or conversational. A well-defined format is really going to help your listeners follow along, and it enhances that overall experience. Next up is you want to share actionable takeaways. So make sure that you're wrapping up each episode with something that your audience can put into action immediately. Your audience should really leave with valuable insights and practical steps that they can implement today. When you provide actionable advice, it not only adds value, but it encourages repeat listenership, which is definitely what we want. Now let's talk about a few tips for effective podcast distribution and promotion. So first things first is the strategic distribution platforms. So you want to choose a podcast distribution platform wisely. There are a lot of different ones out there, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You definitely want to be on those, but you can also explore very niche platforms that cater to your specific audience. So make sure to diversify the reach and make sure that you're looking at that broader spectrum to really bring in as many listeners as you possibly can. Next up is cross-channel promotion. So you want to spread the word about your podcast across various channels. So again, this is where you're going to utilize your social media, your email newsletters, even your blog. You can use all of these different tools to create anticipation. You can create teasers, behind the scenes snippets, and really encourage your audience to interact with you. This is going to boost the podcast's visibility. Next up is SEO optimization strategies. So again, you want to optimize your podcast for search engines. So make sure that you're crafting compelling episode titles and descriptions with relevant keywords. And you want to transcribe your episodes to provide search engines with more content to index, which is going to increase the discoverability of your podcast. All right, number 5 is micro moments, which I talk about a lot. This is where you're going to, wink, wink, reel in the engagement. So when you're condensing your YouTube video, whatever that is, into captivating short bits, so maybe a 15-second Instagram reel, that can absolutely significantly boost engagement. You want to pack it with some music, some text, effects, a viral teaser encouraging viewers to watch the full video. So here's a little breakdown of how you can reel in your audience with micro moments. So first things first, you want to have strategic selection. So you want to go through and handpick the most attention-grabbing snippets from your full video. So choose moments that really encapsulate the essence of the content and pieces that are going to create curiosity and prompt viewers to watch more. Then you want to think about that visual symphony. You want to use the visual appeal of platforms like Instagram Reels to its fullest. So you want to incorporate dynamic shots, vibrant colors, quick transitions, and enhance the overall visual experience with overlays, text, and effects that are going to really align with your brand identity. And then you want to think about the music because that can really set the tone for the reel. So pick something catchy. Trendy would be great. A relevant soundtrack that really complements your content. So the right music not only adds that emotional layer, but it can definitely make your reel more shareable. And then you want to think about some text teasers. And you want to make sure that you are using text that's really concise and intriguing. So you want to craft really compelling captions or even add questions that leave viewers curious, and use the text really strategically to convey key messages or to highlight benefits of watching the entire video. And then we want to trigger engagement. So definitely insert a call to action within the reel. You want to encourage viewers to swipe up, follow your account, visit your profile, jump over to your website. You want to create a sense of urgency or even exclusivity that can drive immediate engagement. And of course, timing matters. Timing is crucial when it comes to social media. So you definitely want to experiment with the pacing of your visuals to keep your audience engaged. So I really suggest with reels, stick to 15 seconds, and a well-timed reel definitely will leave a lasting impression. And tease, but don't spoil, right? So you want to craft your reel as a teaser, but not a spoiler. So provide a taste of the value of your full video without giving away all the details. So the goal here is to really leave viewers intrigued and eager to watch the full content. Number 6 is LinkedIn. This is where you can really craft some article magic. So you can adapt your content for LinkedIn. You can modify the title, the introduction, the conclusion. Just make sure that you're leveraging relevant hashtags within LinkedIn as well for increased visibility. So you want to refine your title a bit. Transform your blog's title into a captivating headline. And then consider adding keywords that are relevant to the platform, which is going to enhance your discoverability there. And then you want to organize your introduction. So you want to begin your LinkedIn article with, again, very concise yet impactful information. So address the professional context, emphasize the practical value that your content brings to your LinkedIn viewers, and establish a connection between your insights and the LinkedIn community. And of course, remember hashtags. You can really harness the power of hashtags to increase your visibility on LinkedIn. So make sure that you identify and incorporate industry-specific and trending hashtags to reach a broader audience that are going to be interested in the topic that you're discussing. And then throughout the body of the content, make sure that you're elaborating on the key points and cater to those professional interests of the LinkedIn audience. So it's really important to provide actionable insights. Pack your content with relevant examples or case studies and foster engagement and discussion within your posts. And make it pretty. You know, people like visually pleasing things on LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn supports multimedia. I know a lot of people don't realize that, but it really can make it an effective way to capture attention and convey information in a really concise way, but also a very engaging way. And remember, you're on LinkedIn, so keep a thought leadership tone. Make sure that you're infusing your article with that tone that's going to position yourself as an authority in your industry. So you can share personal experiences, industry trends, or forward-thinking perspectives that are going to resonate with that professional audience. And of course, don't forget your call to action. Make sure that you conclude everything that you post, whether it's an article or a post on LinkedIn, with a very compelling call to action. You want to encourage readers to share their thoughts, to connect with you, or join relevant LinkedIn groups. You can really foster this networking opportunity within this professional community. Number 7 is to transform your content into steps that your audience can put into action using things like a checklist. So you can actually take your video steps and convert them into a practical and actionable checklist, which is going to offer your audience a valuable free download that they can access across multiple platforms. That is going to increase engagement enormously. So when doing this, make sure that you develop a really attention-grabbing title for the checklist and make sure that it highlights its utility and its relevance. So for example, Video Success Blueprint, 5 essential steps checklist, something like that. You want it to really highlight the relevance. And then break down each step. Transform each step of your video into a very clear and concise checklist. You can use bullet points to make it really easy to read and ensure that each step is actionable and easily implementable. And then visual enhancement. Of course, again, people like things that are pretty. So use icons, images, whatever you need to do to enhance the comprehension, but also make the checklist visually appealing. And then you can make the checklist accessible across all of your platforms. So you could add it as a freebie on your website. You could put it in a link and as a freebie in your email signature. You can add it to your social media platforms. You can share it in relevant forums. You can add it everywhere, and you can tailor your promotion strategy to include this new freebie. And of course, again, make sure that it has a call to action. We want to encourage users to share it. We want them to share it with their friends, their family, their network, this is not only going to expand your reach, but it also facilitates more user engagement. And then you want to look at the value proposition emphasis. So highlight the value of your checklist in your promotional messaging. Communicate how following these steps can lead to tangible outcomes. You really can create this sense of urgency and make your download super, super desirable. And then, of course, promote it on your newsletter. You can leverage it through your email marketing. So you can send out a dedicated email to your subscribers saying, hey, I've got this really great checklist that I think would be perfect for you, and provide them an easy link for download. And you can tease it out on your social media as well. So you can, again, break it up, create engaging snippets or visuals, show your audience this incredible download that you created, and use really persuasive captions to create not only anticipation, but drive traffic towards that download. And then number 8, you could create a cheat sheet. This is where you condense your wisdom into a really handy guide. So this is something that I try to offer with a lot of my content, whether it's a blog, a video, or this podcast. I really like to create and provide something actionable in a cheat sheet, a workbook, something like that. It's where you can really pull out all of the essential tips from your content and then again offer it as a free download. And it really enhances the accessibility of the content and the value. So you want to start by taking a little stroll down memory lane and look through the content that you already have. I'm guessing you have a lot of golden nuggets, blog posts that definitely got a lot of high fives, videos that had viewers hooked, and podcasts that really sparked your fan club. So look for those little gems, and then let's dig into them and start to pull them apart. Start to extract all of the really great pieces, the tips, the aha moments, anything that you think is going to really make this content shine. Maybe it's the visuals. Think of it as crafting this ultimate highlight reel. And then you want to arrange everything. It's time to pull all of these extracted gems together and organize them in a logical way that's going to create a journey and really make sense for your audience. So we're really looking for a very smooth flow, and we want it to really pull people in with a storytelling-like feature. And then you want to add some visuals. So definitely no checklist is complete without some great visuals. So spruce your guide up with visuals, pop in some images, graphs, infographics, whatever it is. You really want to turn it into something that's visually pleasing. It will just ensure that people use it more than ever. And then you have to design it, right? So you'll want to hop over to Canva or contact your graphic designer and have that cheat sheet turned into something really snazzy. We want your audience to think that nothing's worse than downloading something and you just get this very basic text document back. Yeah, looks like it took someone 2 minutes to create. You really want to provide your audience with downloads that make them feel like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't believe she gave this away for free. Working with her must be amazing because she's giving away so much value for free. What type of value am I going to get when I pay for it? So people love a little extra. So definitely consider that. And if you can squeeze in a little extra anywhere, I definitely recommend that as well. If you can add in some bonus tips or exclusive content, your audience will absolutely adore that. And then, of course, you can pop this up everywhere that you're going to share your other downloads. Just make sure, again, that it has a very clear call to action that invites your audience to grab this valuable content. And then our last step is to really look at your key metrics and make sure that you're tracking your content's impact. So you want to keep an eye on your engagement metrics. So track things like likes, shares, comments, click-through rates, downloads. These metrics will really provide insights into how well your content is resonating with your audience. You can also monitor your website traffic and see what type of traffic are you getting from your remixed content. You can analyze conversion rates to understand how effectively your content is turning visitors into leads and into customers. And don't forget to dive into your SEO analytics. You can analyze your search engine rankings, organic traffic growth, and even keyword performance. These insights will help you gauge the impact of the content on search engine visibility. All right, so that's a lot of information about how to repurpose your content. And I'm sure you're like, wow, these are all really great ideas, but I want to put these into action today. So let's talk about how you can do that. So remember, content remixing is about creativity, not constraints. So implementing might feel like a daunting task. It may seem like, oh my gosh, she just talked for like 20 minutes about how I can reuse my content. But remember, it's okay to start small. Start small, pick just one of these strategies, experiment with it, and then you can gradually expand. You don't have to do everything all at once. And the key really is consistent experimentation and learning. You're going to see what your audience is interested in. You can create more of that. So here's your action plan for this week. Take a few minutes and take a stroll through all of your content. Identify any type of content that really popped out to you. Is it particular blog posts that you saw got a lot of interaction on your website or on social media? Is it a video that you have that's gotten a ton of views, or a podcast episode that got more downloads than any of the others? Look for those pieces of content and then pick one piece and pull that piece out. Then you're going to look at that piece and identify 3 key takeaways. Organize those 3 key takeaways in a logical order. You want to create a journey that makes sense for your audience. So just grab a paper and pen and kind of sketch out a rough outline of how you can remix this content, integrating those 3 key takeaways. And then explore any of the above strategies that we talked about today and pick just one to use that one tip to repurpose your content. And continue to outline a rough draft plan of how you can remix that content that you picked. What format are you going to transform it into? How are you going to structure it so that it's going to engage with your audience? So sketch out a really simple outline for your remix, map out the journey that you want your audience to experience, and then create it and share it everywhere. When you identify these 3 key metrics that you're going to track, this will help you to see if this content resonates. So going to look at things like engagement metrics, your traffic and conversions, and your SEO analytics. So go ahead and create that. Remix it, one piece of content, remix it just one way. So if you are brand new and you want to think, I don't even know where to start, I would say pick either a blog, a podcast, or a video that you think your audience absolutely loved. That'll be your one piece of content. And depending on what the content is how you'll remix it. So if it's a blog, then I encourage you to record that blog as a video. If it's a video, then I encourage you to transcribe it into a blog. And if it's a podcast, you could either record it with the video on. There you go. You already have a video. Or you can use your podcast script and just flesh it out quite a bit to have a blog post. And then look at 3 key metrics that you're going to track once you publish that piece of information everywhere. So is that going to be your engagement on social media? Is it going to be traffic and conversions to your website? Is it going to be email open rates? And then share your progress, questions, or insights on content remixing in the comments on either my blog, my podcast, or my video, because I do all 3 every week, and we can start a conversation and we can help to keep that creativity flowing for you. And as another way to help you jumpstart repurposing your content, I created a free download for you. It's a content repurposing or content remix calendar where you will pick one piece of content, again, whether it's a blog, video, or a podcast, and then it will show you how you can pull that one piece of content apart to have content for a week or an entire month, depending on how much work you want to do. All right, you can grab that at jennylyon.com/content remix. And I hope you found these 9 fantastic ways to repurpose your content helpful. I hope you really enjoy the download. And if you need help with your content or any of your online marketing, please reach out. I'm always happy to jump on a free call with you. Love to talk about what's going on in your business and give you some valuable ideas on what you can do to grow it. And you can do so at jennylyon.com/chat with Jenny. And either way, I'll see you next time on another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. See you soon.